Hi. So to start, first I want to say greetings. And what we're going to do is start with a word, and I'm going to show you how you can train your mind into taking something like a rock, which a word can be used as an insult, and change it into something lighter, like water. You're going to be water bearers. You're going to be mental, efficient warriors. Let's take this word, nigger. One of the most destructive words. And what we're going to do is make alchemy. We're going to look at this word as a blessing rather than a rock. And how to do this is you're going to take that mind, so whenever you hear it internally, you can picture something else. How do you do this? Numbers, because numbers aren't insulting. That doesn't look insulting, but this does. So we break it down into numbers. How do I do that? A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3, and so on. So you could see where N is 14, I is 9, and so on. When you add these up, you get 60. Okay? That's the positive side. You also want to do the negative side. A battery is both forces. A word can be used to heal or hurt. So then we take the 60 and reduce it. So 14 is 1 plus 4 is 5. 9 stays the same. 7 stays the same. 7 stays the same. 5 stays the same. 1 plus 8 is 9. And when you add this up, it's 42. Jackie Robinson. And then we break it down again to get it to its lowest form is 6. We have our battery. Now 6, our lower form, the earth form, is a great number. You can think of right now perfect. The first perfect number in math is 6. It's very fascinating. But I also want you to break it down more. The brain needs these steps, needs to know, because it will not question math. It will not question these numbers. So we break it down. We divide 6 into 60. We get 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. So now this number is 1. What can that do for you? Well, if you look at the periodic table of elements, hydrogen, a source of clean fuel, the building block of stars, is the first element. Okay? And it's the most abundant substance in the universe. I personally go to God and the universe. The first letter of the Hebrew alphabet is Aleph. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's Aleph. So when I hear this word, I am now trained to think of this. And my brain doesn't question it because it understands the process of how I got there, how I broke it down to get to the simplest form. And remember the 10 when we broke it down to 1. The 10th letter of the Hebrew alphabet is Yod, a Yod, and it looks like 2. Some say the letter Aleph A has 2 Yods here, the upper and lower. As above, so below. As above, so below. Check this out. Okay, so this rabbi, the story, rabbi, I'm sorry if I don't know the name, he is wrapped in a scroll of the Torah and burned at the stake. Moments before his death, his students cried out, "Master, what do you see?" He answers, "The parchment is burning, but the letters are flying toward the heavens." So internally, you're sending this towards the heavens. And it's awesome when your brain is retrained, and it happens like that. So this becomes this. And you can practice by writing it out, saying it, printing out copies of this. And once you master this word, you move on to another one that you may hear, like, "Oh, you're a loser." I don't know, but we'll just start with this. Loser, by the way, is also one. There's just so much fascinating stuff with this. You also can realize that Aleph, the numerical value is 111. The trilogy, Father, Son, Spirit, the spiritual world, physical world, all three elements. Again, this is my first video. I have a lot on my mind. I'm sorry if I'm not presenting this accurately. I just want you to know that this word is now being obliterated. Okay? You're taking this rock and changing it to water. And you're doing it internally, so no one knows. You're doing it in secret, so the Lord can reward you in secret. So when you hear it mentally, okay, you don't have to be offended anymore. It's almost like you're being trained. Break it down. You saw how I got there. If you have any questions, write to me. And I broke it down to this. Some of you may want to, hey, my favorite number is 6. I'll stop there. Or I like 10. Whatever you want to do. As long as you know how I got there. This is what works for me. And I have math. I'm using math. I'm using science. I'm using religion. And then this foundation here, God. Okay. And here, check this out with this word. Is the first letter. It has no sound. Only the sounds you make when you begin to make any sound. Open your mouth and begin to make a sound. Stop. That is Aleph. It is the letter beginning the first of God's mysterious 70 names. The name of the first man was Adam. Adam. Ooh, the Adam. The first man. And the name of the herald of the last man. Aleph is the letter of fire. A fire which flames but does not destroy. That is how the Holy One gets your attention. He shows you the primordial fire. And the very first letter of the first word of the first commandment begins with the first letter which has no sound. I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt, the house of slavery. So, in here, we said, so we broke this word down to 1. Aleph, numerical number is 111. And when we go to poetry, we'll add that in. All these awesome things. Shakespeare, in 111, talks about taking his medicine, almost. He needs to be healed. And this is what we're doing here. We're doing healing. You're taking your medicine. And you're fighting the good fight. So imagine what you can do when you take every single word, and mentally you're projecting this or another mentally. How pleased will you be? Clean air, hydrogen, a source of clean fuel, building block of stars. Anyway, this is just the first video, and I'll post again. I hope I didn't confuse anybody, and bye-bye.